Because I get it. Y'all all got access to Zillow. I get it. I understand. You could see what happened on Zillow. And so because of that, it changes how we're looked at as real estate professionals. And there's like a limited amount of trust in what we do to sell these houses, which it takes so much work. So while I wait for everyone to get on here before I just jump right into the market update, I do feel like it's very important that if you are looking to sell a property in the Metro Atlanta area, and I'm going to reiterate this, Metro Atlanta area, I am not representing the entire United States. I am not representing anything beyond the Metro Atlanta area because I sell and I'm licensed in the state of Georgia and I service the Metro Atlanta area. So if you are not in the Metro Atlanta area, this market update may not, apply to you. But this is what I want to say immediately. Number one is if you are looking to sell your property in this market, there is more that we do from the Q Watson team than just post your house on the internet. Posting on Instagram is something that we do because it does help to get more traffic if someone missed the property on the MLS. And because I have almost a half million followers, it does help. However, the background work absolutely gets done. And that is the email blast. That is the text message blast. That is me using my database to send out newsletters to people that are interested. That is also having a database full of buyers that could possibly be interested in your property from my years and years and years of selling real estate. That also comes down to hosting luxury open houses, having open houses that absolutely are educational, having partners that we can talk about financing options for these buyers, and then absolutely negotiating the contract. It is more than I put a sign in the yard and that was it. You know, a lot of times the Q Watson team, we are sending emails, text messages, following up with every single lead. That takes hours and hours out of our day to sell the property, sell the area, research the appreciation values in the area. Like when you are selling mostly luxury homes, it takes a sophisticated marketing update and email update and sales strategy in order to get a buyer. What I am seeing now is that we are able to acquire buyers when the homes are listed properly, marketed adequately, which we do, but also realistic about what's happening in the market. The market itself is shifted. It's no longer shifting, it is shifted. So without further ado, there's a few things I want to touch on. Mika, could you bring me a straw? I don't want to drink from the bottle. You can just hand it right here. That's my sister, she over here. So this is what I'm going to start with. Number one, let's reset the room. My name is Quiana Watson. I am a real estate broker here in the Metro Atlanta area, and this is my market update that I'm providing you about what I am currently seeing happening on the real estate market. The number one thing that I want you guys to know is the median sales price, the average sales price in the Metro Atlanta area is $523,500. Excuse me. Mika. Sorry, she went out. Again, the average sales price in the Metro Atlanta area is $523,500. What does that mean to you? Okay, that means that if you are selling anything above the average price point, you guys, let me get some water. Hold on. If you are selling anything above the average price point, then it's going to take longer to sell. And that is because we are not one of those very, very rich cities. We're not DC. We're not New York. We're not LA. If the average price point that is being sold is $523,000, then if you are right now, I'm listing $1 million homes and $800,000 plus homes, then that is going to make a big difference in how we have to get things done. Okay. So definitely wanted to put that out there. Hold on. Let me just block. I thought that my sister would be able to get on here and block and moderate. I'm still waiting to see if she's going to join the live from the Watson Realty Co page. So what I want you guys to know is, one, that is the issue. Secondly, what is another issue that we're facing in the Metro Atlanta area? Inventory. There is a shortage in inventory, and I want to give you guys a good synopsis, because how many of you all compare what's happening now to when we had the recession in 2008, 2009, when the real estate market crashed, right? If you think that we are going to have a real estate market crash, please comment in the chat and put crash or market crash. I want to see how many of you guys have that opinion, if that's where you feel like we are, or if that's where you feel like we are headed in the real estate market. I'm going to give you a chance to comment. Crash, okay. 2 for crash. A 3rd for crash. Another one for crash. Another one for crash. Market correction, I don't think so. Crash, okay, crash, okay. Headed to crash, woo! All right, so let me give you guys some educational data, because this is so important for you to understand, okay? How real estate works, okay? I want you to understand that, okay? And I'm putting this in my laptop because I like to be as accurate as possible. So when you are in the way that real estate works, and the way that we look at real estate is, if you have 6 months of inventory, 6 months of inventory, that means you are in a neutral market. That means that you absolutely can get deals on both sides. When you have above 6 months in inventory, that means that you are in a buyer's market. That means we have way more inventory than demand, which is what happened in 2008. We actually had way more inventory on the market. It was right around 6 months of inventory and no market demand. Nobody was looking to buy the houses. Today, in the Metro Atlanta area, I just pulled the report, we only have 1.9 months, which is 2 months of real estate inventory on the market. 2 months compared to 6 months of inventory in 2008. So when you start looking at it from that standpoint, in 2023, when you're looking at the real estate market, we are not in a crash. We are in the middle of a correction, because we only have 2 months of inventory. That means we do not have enough properties on the market to satisfy the demand of the people that are looking. Now, there are 2 things that will determine how soon a property will sell, and that is location, price, quality, right? Marketing, etc. All those things. Is we are seeing that there are sellers on the market. So let me just give a shout out to my sellers. You guys know I represent a lot of sellers. I work with a lot of developers. And this is what we are finding at this moment. What happened last year when market rates were 3% is not happening this year when market rates are 7.75%. Now, we had a small dip in the interest rates. The rates went from 8% to 7.75%. Personally, for me, it wasn't big enough for me to make a big deal about it. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's not a big enough dip to change your monthly payment. 0.15% is just not enough. We need like a point. Really, we need 2 points, to be quite honest. We need to bring this back down to 4.75 or like 5%. 5% or even 5.5% would make a big enough difference in the real estate market for you guys to say, yes, now the rates have lowered and I can get a little relief off my monthly payment. So what I feel like is happening is, if you are a seller, so I'm going to talk to my sellers first and I'm going to talk to my buyers next. Can I say this with love? I'm saying this with love. I do personally feel like that some sellers are so used to what happened 2 years ago and what happened 3 years ago. And it's the same house, but you don't have the same demand. And as a real estate professional that knows that I have my back end systems together, my follow-up emails, my team, we are tight. We run like a well-oiled machine. Like, this is the Army and not the Navy over here. The way that I run my team, the way that we follow up. If the property is not selling, it's the market and it's the price. It's the price. At some point, you have to recognize that the demand of your property at these high interest rates, with the scarcity that's happening around the metro Atlanta area. So people are concerned about a crash. Look at how many people thought the market is going to crash. Every time you turn on the news, they say that we're in a recession. We're not in a recession. We're on the brink of a recession. We're all these things, right? So when you start seeing that, people are just afraid to overspend their money. It has nothing to do with, most of the time, I'm not going to say all the time, but most of the time, it's not your agent. It is the price and it is the market. I have seen people switch agent to agent to agent. Now, there are some agents that take cell phone pictures, don't follow up, don't pick up the phone, don't text, don't have a back end system, don't send emails, don't messages, don't have an email database, don't do all these things. Then maybe they are the problem. But if you have an agent that is doing all those things, hosting open houses, doing all those things, and the home is not selling, it is the price, it is the market, and it is the location. Those are three things the location you cannot change. That's on you. The location is the location. You can't change it. The price you can change. You can actually change the price, and you can absolutely set your expectations along with what absolutely is happening in the market at this time. Because you can't compare a house that's going to sell today to a house that sold in January. Because in January, our rates were 3.75%. And then it went to 4%. Then it went to 4.25%. We went all the way to 8% come August. So 8% interest rates, and you're talking to buyers and you're telling them that their monthly payment is going to be so much more. You're talking about, if they got quoted a monthly payment in January, the monthly payment now is much higher. So as much as I love working with cash buyers, we need every buyer, cash buyers and financing buyers. You need everyone to keep the train rolling. Inflation is high, and I think that we have to read our expectations about what, if you're an investor, what your potential profits could be in this market, because your holding cost, which is the cost to hold your inventory on the market, that's going to be if you have a construction loan, if you have a hard money loan, if you are paying light bill over there, water bill, gas, your carrying cost to carry the home will catch up with the money that you think you were losing by just denying offers that could be fair. Now, I'm not saying give your inventory away, because we know the numbers. You don't want to give it away, but you also want to have a very fair number based on what you know is going on in the market. And that really helps to determine how we're going to move forward. So that's one thing that I want you guys to know about. You can let Chance loose. Oh, okay. Another thing that I want you guys to keep in mind if you are selling your property is maybe you just don't want to sell it right now. That's okay. I think it is unfair to, if you don't want to sell, or if once you do the research on the market and your agent provides you with the data, if you want to wait, I say wait until spring. Wait until spring. I think that rates will be lower. I think that buyer demand will be higher, because we are in the middle of the holidays. And even if you are a person that does not celebrate the holidays, you are part of like the 5%. 95% of us is getting ready for Thanksgiving. 95% of us are getting ready for Christmas. People that have families and kids, they are using this time to go to the going to the patch, getting Christmas photos, spending time with their kids. Kids are out of school. Like, people are not about to run and buy a house in the middle of the holidays, especially if there's no real incentive, because the rates are high. Last year, the rates were so low. It's like, man, they was like, I'm not going to miss this interest rate. They had a reason. This year, they don't. They don't. So you really need to consider that if you are looking to sell your property. And then, like I said, just be realistic about the shifts in the market and take the time to understand the market. And if you are one of my sellers, please read the market reports. We send market reports every Tuesday, and it's detailed. And no matter what, I can host 100. There could be an open house 4 days a week. Sometimes it's not the door. The door being open sometimes is not the issue. The issue is the market. Once we've done enough houses, sent emails, paid for ads, really double down on the follow-up so we know what the follow-up says. If everyone is saying the home is overpriced, the home is not in the best location, at some point we have to make changes to be able to modify our expectations for the market. And again, don't give your property away. But we got to be more realistic about what's happening here. So this is a conversation that I have with my sellers. Y'all got it? So if you're looking to sell a home, if you own a property, let's just say you own a property and you want to put your house on the market right now and you want to hurry up and sell it, this may not be the perfect market to do that unless you are below the average price point, which again, to reset the room, if your home is below the average price point of $523,000 in the metro Atlanta area, your home will more likely sell in 30 days or less. But if your home is priced above the average price point in the metro Atlanta area, you can expect to wait. And more likely, even if you get a contract, most people are probably not going to look to sell until the first week or second week in January. So that is my market update for our sellers. Now I'm going to talk to my buyers. How many of you guys are in the comments? Comment if you're looking to buy a home. Just put buyer. I want to see how many future buyers I have here while I take a sip of water, because I think it's very important that you also understand what you're getting into, because I started I posted on my page that I received 5 offers last week, and all 5 of my offers, every single one of my investors declined the offers. And I think that as a buyer, you need to understand there is a difference between a neutral market or a market where you can get a deal and just writing some lowball offer that doesn't provide any profit to the sellers. Most sellers, I'm speaking for my clients, they are cash investors. They don't have a lot of over, and they are not going to give away their products. They're not giving away their houses. Like, it needs to be a fair deal or it's not going to work. Right now, it has to be give and take on both the buyer and the seller side. It can't just be, as a buyer, you feel like I can just write this lowball offer because you heard that the market is going to crash. So let me tell you. And crazy thing is, I got listings all over. So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you an example of the listings that absolutely got offers and how they all got declined. So number one of my listings, I would like to call it, this is one of my more affordable listings. And I'm going to give you guys this address because, one, I'm trying to sell the listings at the same time. So this is a give and take. That's why I got you guys on this live. It's a give and take. I'm about to give you my inventory, okay? So you ain't ready to hear about no real estate. You might want to get up off this live because I'm here to talk about the real estate, baby. So one of my listings, it was 523 Bentley Way. It's in McDonough. It was built by one of my investors. The asking price is $430,000, which is a really fair price for a new construction home. However, the issue is the offer we received was so far below my client's bottom line. He was like, I'm not giving my property away based on the expenses that I absolutely put in. And the offer was way too low. So what we did is we sent a counter offer. And when we countered the offer, yes, 523 Bentley Way, when we countered the offer, unfortunately, the buyer backed out because I believe they were probably approved for much less. And so what happens is you guys are seeing these homes sit on the market. And so when you watch like different shows like on Zillow, going on Zillow or reading real estate tips, or you watching these HGTV shows, you think because a home has been on the market for more than 60 days that you can just automatically offer them like $100,000 below asking price. Ain't nobody going for that. I'm sorry. It just doesn't work that way. Like, if you are serious about buying, make sure that you run comps. And then be realistic about what you're asking for. I do feel like a lot of times comps are not being ran, and buyers, you guys have a false sense of, I'm about to get a fire sale. We're not in the metro Atlanta area, is not in the middle of a fire sale. Let me explain this to you. The metro Atlanta area is not in the middle of a fire sale. So you got to be realistic. So my client declined the offer. Then I got another offer. Another offer, and these are on my luxury properties, right? So these are 4 of my luxury properties. All of these properties are listed for $1 million plus. All of the offers were less than $1 million, and my client said no. We countered the offers, and we did see one thing about it when we counter, and I'm gonna explain to you guys what a counter offer is, because I don't want to, I know that most of you guys know, but if you don't, if you write an offer and we don't like certain terms of the offer, we will counter your offer with the terms that we feel like are agreeable in order for us to come to some type of middle ground, in order for us to move forward. Someone wrote, HGTV is the basis of real estate delusion, and I will second and third that. It literally creates the delusion that you can just offer whatever you want. 5 different investors, 5 people declined. They walked away. All of them. Every single investor said no. And I can tell you this. The crazy thing is, but today we're going binding on a contract on another one of my $1 million plus listings that we countered, and we absolutely got a fair offer. So what I want you guys to understand is, as a buyer, there is limited inventory, and when people are ready to purchase quality homes, and these homes are being sold at very reasonable prices, you are going to have a very hard time in this market. And I feel that your agents should start sending you market updates and market reports and explaining them to you, so that way you're not unrealistically submitting offers that are not in alignment with the metro Atlanta area, not in alignment with the property that you are targeting, not in alignment with the current sales in the area, not in alignment with anything that you're asking for. We have to understand that even though we only have 2 months of inventory in the metro Atlanta area, I consider us to be more of a neutral market, because if there's some give and take, if the buyers give a little bit and the sellers give a little bit, we're able to get to the closing table. We're seeing that happen. But if the buyer is coming in well below asking price and the seller is not willing to budge even a little off the asking price, then we're just seeing deals not work out, right? So I definitely want you guys to have the right expectations. I think you want to research the real estate market for the specific area, not just the whole metro Atlanta area. If you're looking at a property in, let's just say, Lawrenceville, look up what's happening in Lawrenceville. If you're looking at a property that is in McDonough, look at what's happening in McDonough. Do not try to pivot and look at what's happening as a whole, because each pocket city within the metro Atlanta area actually has a different sales record. And the demand is different, and the demand changes and varies based on, again, what the inventory is, the demand, the school districts, the price, location, all that stuff. All right. So I want you guys to truly and honestly, someone has said, yes, your agent has to educate you. We found our house and the offer my husband wanted to give was too low. She educated us. You came with a strong offer and she won the deal. It's happening every day. So I think that what I want to see a little bit more give and take from the buyers and the sellers. I feel like education is so important. You have to educate yourself on the current market for the city that you're selling in, and know that the numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Now, yes, if you're representing the seller, your job is to make them as much money as possible, but be realistic about what's happening in the market. If you're working with the buyer, your job is to save them as much money as possible, but be realistic about what's happening in the market. And if you are in the metro Atlanta area, we know that there's scarcity. There's not enough properties on the market to satisfy the demand. We know that interest rates are high. We're entering the holiday season. And if you have inventory on the market and it's not moving, it may not be moving because the timing is just off. The demand is not as high as you thought it was. And if your neighbor sold their house in 3 days in March of 2023, when rates were still 4.7%, you're not going to sell your house in 3 days, November, December of 2023, when rates are 7.75%. Like, do y'all understand how that shifts? The market shifts the demand and shifts the buyer pool. Right? Are we looking at it from both standpoints? So, so I wanted to, now that I've kind of educated you guys on the market, there's a few things I want to tell you before I answer some questions. So right now in the metro Atlanta area, we actually had 1,812 new properties come to the market. I'm extremely excited about that. And that just happened within the last 7 days. So that's 1,800 new homes that are available in the metro Atlanta area. We also have 568 homes under contract within the last 7 days in the metro Atlanta area. And we also have, what's really, really, really important, 1,013 properties have closed in the last 7 days. So we are evening out. People are still buying properties. The market in Atlanta, the metro Atlanta area at least, is not crashing. We are just in a position that things are being corrected. And as they're being corrected, it is your job, if you are a real estate professional, to look up the stats in your market and educate your clients. It is your job, if you are a buyer or a seller in this market, to demand that your real estate professional educate you, so that way you are moving based on the market demand, not on emotion. Your emotion is not going to help you get to where you want to go, whether that's selling your property or buying your property. You have to follow the data. And I'm really good at analyzing data. You guys know I have my master's degree. I worked in corporate America. I own my own real estate firm. I own my own businesses. So I'm a master at research and data. So I take my time for every market, every client, and we make sure this happens. So that's something I want you guys to know. Now, I'm going to answer some questions that came through my Instagram. Let me scroll down. I'm answering some questions that came through my Instagram. And we can go from there. I'm hoping. I'm just going through the motions. Hold on. How do you find? Okay, there it goes. Those are my questions. All right, let's see all the questions. Woo, we have quite a lot. Y'all had a bunch of questions. My goodness. Okay, there is no way I'm going to be able to answer all these questions by 6:30, but I am going to try my best. Okay, let me answer some questions about y'all know these DMs be crazy, so give me a second. Someone asked, to qualify for your mortgage, is it 3 times your salary? Not necessarily. The 3 times your salary is something that comes in when you're trying to rent a home. They want to say you want to make 3 times the rent. But when you're looking to purchase a home, we're looking at your debt to income ratio. So when you're looking at your debt to income ratio, what you're going to see is that depending on the loan type, typically FHA can go up to 50% on your debt to income ratio. Conventional can go 47%. Your debt to income ratio is going to be your income divided by your debt. And whatever that ratio is, that is how they're going to calculate how much you can afford. So it is not 3 times the rent. It is your debt to income ratio that helps you determine your eligibility. Someone said, will the prices of homes be going down? Well, I don't think so. I think that homes that are not priced correctly for the current market will start to see some price improvements. Like, I had a property and we were listed at 1.1 million. And so we improved the price to $1,049,000, but it's still not going to sell for less than $1 million. So a price improvement, I say yes, but what you guys are looking to get is a mini mansion. See, you want to get a mini mansion for $150,000, and that is not going to happen because, again, the average price point in Atlanta is $523,000. And although I know that we are experiencing inflation and we're experiencing all these things, can you guys keep in mind that the Metro Atlanta area is a growing market? We have most of the Fortune 500 companies here, Microsoft here, Google here, Coca-Cola here, power company here. I could name so many hubs that are here. And what absolutely happens is these executives and these people, they are not experiencing inflation in the way that maybe the everyday buyer and seller is experiencing it, right? And then we have a lot of entrepreneurs in Atlanta as well. Affordability is shifting before your eyes, and that's also because Atlanta is on the road up. We have Tyler Perry Studios, that's here, one of the biggest studios in the world. Like, think about things like that when you guys start questioning what's happening in Atlanta. Look at the growth, the development, what's going on at our airports. All this helps you determine, oh, we're not in a city that's slowing down. It's actually a city that's moving up. Okay, so Amazon is here. So when you think about all the things that are here, these are huge companies, huge corporations. I'm sorry, I see the prices. They're pretty much, they're slow and steady. And what I also see what's happening with the Metro Atlanta area is we have appreciation values around 6 to 7% when the national average is only like 3%. That means our homes are appreciating at a rate that is double the national average. Because we absolutely are a growing market. I hope that answered your question. No, what I was saying, Miss Paris, was not that the nurses, teachers, doctors, and service members do not need to buy homes. What I'm explaining is there is a reason that the prices are not going to go down, because there are more executives and there are other larger corporations that are pushing this forward. So what I say is, do you guys remember when we could get a 99-cent cheeseburger from Wendy's? I remember when I could get that when I was in college. Can't do that now. Inflation is up on everything. So if you can buy a property now, it would be in your best interest to get it now, because waiting, you will experience a higher price. And as you guys see, y'all thought the interest rates that were 3% would last forever, and they're y'all thought the interest rates were going to wait for you to decide if you wanted to purchase. And if you would have purchased at 3% interest rate, you could have got more home for your money, and the prices were lower. Now the prices are higher and the rates are higher. So that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. All right. I'm reading something. I'm trying to get some really good questions. Oh, this is a good one. Someone said, how can we invest at every turn? It is as if opportunities are not happening, and they sit there in Florida. Well, one thing when I used to do Rants and Gems, the podcast, what they would say is look to invest in places that you do not live. You do not have to live in a city to invest in a city. So join different investment groups and find someone that you can trust to help you invest in a city that actually has growth in affordable properties. You don't have to live there to invest there. I know Indianapolis has a lot of affordable you can invest in. Chicago has duplexes and a lot of affordable places you can invest in. St. Louis has a lot of duplexes and places you can invest in. Don't invest where you live. Invest where you can afford, and invest where you see value. I hope that helps. Let me keep going. Oh, Kiki So Official said, how much capital does it take to start a real estate brokerage? I answered that in my class, The Broker's Blueprint. So if you're interested in knowing everything about opening a brokerage, that is where I answer that. And that is the class I have on my online training group, Agent Tools for Success. Let me move along. Ooh, how creative are sellers willing to be since we are no longer in a bidding war? Well, I just answered that. I'm going to answer it again. We're not in a bidding war, but we are not in a fire sale either. So if you are realistic with your demands and you're asking for things that are fair and that are within the reach of the sellers, you're going to find that a little give and take goes a long way, and the seller walks away happy, the buyers walk away happy, and everybody is absolutely able to experience what they want in the real estate market, which is from a buyer side, you want to buy your home, the seller side, you want to sell. Give and take, but this is not a fire sale. So I do not recommend you coming in on $1 million house talking about I'm offering $600,000. You just wasted your time. You just wasted your agent's time. It's not going to happen. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, let me go here. Someone said this is good. What is the most comprehensive way to do a CMA in this market? I feel like if you're going to do a CMA in this market, the number one thing you need to do is join Agent Tools for Success. And I'm not trying to be funny, but I do teach this in my training group, so I can't give you guys this information because you're asking it here. It defeats the purpose of the people in my group that are actually paying a membership fee every single month to get this valuable information with detailed instructions. Moving on. Oh, this is good. How do you find a good mortgage lender, and what do you look for? I'm still looking. I actually have a great lender. I'm partnered with Assertive Mortgage, and she is absolutely incredible. But I do feel like if you're looking for a good mortgage lender, you need someone that has automations, someone that makes it very easy for the client to determine their value, how much home they can afford. A portal for them to upload their pay stubs and their bank statements so that way they can get a pre-approval. Someone that has very clear communication skills and systems so that way the number one thing I hear from buyers is I don't know what's going on. I applied with the lender and I don't know what's going on. I want to work with a lender that is so invested in the outcome that they are following up consistently, sending detailed emails, sending text messages, and making sure that every step by step is sent out, So that is something that I want you guys to completely be aware of and go from there. Let me see what else. Wait a minute. What is happening here? Y'all are crazy. Oh my gosh. I'm laughing because I know y'all not gonna be able to see the words, but this is not, please don't come on my live trying to get buyers and sellers for my live. If you are on my live and you're looking for my expertise advice, please contact me and work with the Quiana team, an agent that actually has experience, obviously has a platform, and a leader that understands what they're talking about, which is why you guys are here. But moving on. All right. Do you deal with foreclosures? If so, did you have any that went to an auction? Yes, I absolutely have dealt with foreclosures, and I've had properties off the auction. I've helped my clients purchase properties off the auction. You can still go, if you want to look at any foreclosures, I'll give you guys this. This is not something that you can't find easily. Go to the HUD Home Store or have a HUD Home Store account. That way you can keep your eyes on any foreclosures or short sales that are coming to the market. And as a consumer, you can also create your own HUD Home Store account. As a buyer, as a real estate agent, you can also look at the HUD Home Store account as well. Let me reset the room. We are talking about the real estate market and the market update that I have already provided at the top of this video for the Metro Atlanta area. And just to give you guys a quick synopsis, we are in a neutral market. That means give and take. The average price point in the Metro Atlanta area is $523,000. We only have 2 months of inventory on the market. We have 1,812 new listings that came on the market within the last 7 days. We are looking at 1,013 closings that have happened in the last 7 days. As we continue to see, the Metro Atlanta market is thriving, and buyers and sellers both have to come into the market with an understanding that it has to be a give and take as we navigate high interest rates and low buyer demand, because buyers do feel like we are in the middle of a market crash. Although we are not, we are in the middle of a market correction. So that has caused low buyer demand, which means we do have to be give and take when we are dealing with buyers. So now that I have reset the room about why we are here and what we are talking about, I'm going to answer some more questions that came from my story. Robin said, do you anticipate the interest rate dropping during the election year? Yes. And I ain't gonna lie, I pray for it. I am hoping and praying that the interest rates drop down to the ground and beyond the floor. I want the rates to drop to the ground, the floor. Okay, when we into the election year, I don't think that we're going to see 3% interest rates again, but there is no way we're going to go into election season where we're going to have to pick a leader and they're going to keep these rates at 7.75%. It would not be in the best interest of our country. I was watching this really detailed video and I wish I could tell you his name, but I cannot. But basically what he was saying was the higher the rates are not just affecting the real estate market. We have trillions of dollars in debt. From America is in debt, right? So the nerve of them to contact us about paying our bills and paying our student loans when there are trillions of dollars in debt. And what he was saying is they can't even maintain the debt because when the rates go up, the rates also affect how much interest they are paying on the debt. So we can't maintain these high rates. They cannot force a recession and force a market crash. That's what they want to do, but they can't. So I'm guessing 5%. Mark my words, we're going to be somewhere between 5 and 5.5%. And then people that may not have the best credit, we're going to see you guys at 6 and 6.5%. I can see that reprieve coming, and I see that happening in spring because they start those marketing advertisements in spring, letting us know you should start voting for. The rates will start going down. That is my belief and my understanding, and I am holding on to that. All right. Now, let me go here. That's the question, but I'm not an Airbnb expert. However, no, you do not need a real estate license in order to sell Airbnb. Hope that answered your question. To have like an Airbnb business. No, you do not. All right. Let's see. How do you get approved for a real estate property with an investment group partnership? Okay, I can give you two synopses. One, if you're looking to purchase an investment property, the best thing for you to do is just put 20 to 25% down, get an investment loan. And then when you get an investment loan, you can move forward and purchase the home as an investment, and you can purchase it in the name of your LLC if you use a subprime loan, which is a bank statement loan, or a P&L statement loan, which is I like to call the entrepreneur loan. Next, if you're with an investment group, then that means you as a group, all of you guys are putting all your money together, right? You're putting all your money together to purchase a property. I would hope if you're going to be with an investment group that you are investing together to spend cash. So that way you can avoid interest rates. So if you guys are all going to come in a group, you need to sign the agreement, have someone monitor money clearly. LLC, make sure you guys have equal ownership, and then you use that LLC to purchase your property cash and have details and outlines of how the investment will work. So that is the question. Let me go here. What is your recommendation weights? No, that's not good. I'm sorry. That's an Agent Tools for Success question. I'm trying to get to something else. I want to inspire you. Someone said, what is your advice after failing the broker's exam twice? She said she really wants it. Do it again. No, there are so many people that do not pass on the first or second or third try. Do it again. I don't think that you should be discouraged. If you really want something, sometimes, in my opinion, God will make it harder for you to get it to see how bad you really want it. So study harder and take the test again. That is my advice. Okay. Hold on. Oh, someone said, when does the next class start? The next cohort starts in January. I am opening the doors of membership because I slammed them shut, but I am opening them on Black Friday. So you guys will get those details momentarily. I want to say this, and I'm saying this with love. for the foreseeable future. Right now we have 25 agents, and with 25 agents, we are on track to close the amount of deals. Let me tell you guys what has happened in the real estate market so that way you guys can take this with love. 60,000 real estate agents have left the market because the market has slowed down. 50% of the agents that have real estate license did not close one deal in 2023. Most agents are not thriving in this market. We are surviving and making sure that we are in alignment. And I say that to say, for me specifically, I have been grateful enough and blessed enough to thrive in this market, but I am also one of those people that I invest. One of my investment properties, the Echoes floor plan, is going to be on the market the week after next. I didn't just come in this market just to sell houses. I invest, I make smart decisions. I have sold 2 of my investment properties this year and made a significant profit, as well as I've sold a lot of real estate for my clients this year and made some income. This is not the time, in my opinion, for me, not for you, because I know, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you're in the Metro Atlanta area, follow Gabby Maddox, join her Keller Williams brokerage. She's a Black woman. She has her own Keller Williams office. I'm super proud of her, and they are hiring and training and doing all of that. But as for me and Watson Realty Co., I am a boutique owned brokerage. I focus on representing developers. I still sell, and I am not in a position to bring on the amount of people and that amount of liability in a market that has slowed down. The leads that I have coming in is just enough leads for me to give out to the people that have been committed and have been with me. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to make sure that we are clear on that. It's not that I don't want to hire you. It's just that this is not the best positioning for my business model to bring any agents on. All right. So I'll make sure, hopefully that makes sense. 25 is good. 25 agents is a lot of people. All right. Another question. This is a response, and I like this because she's always